We're ready.
There you go.
Let's roll it. We're live, exclusive, we're in prime time, and here we go. Bucky Brooks at number 1. You're shocking us, Bucky, with Myles Garrett to the Cleveland Browns.
Goes without saying, the Cleveland Browns have to take the best player available. Myles Garrett is that guy. Checks off the boxes as a freak athlete, outstanding production, great character. The Cleveland Browns have to take him. They want to put a serious building block in their franchise. He's that guy.
All right, you like his motor. You're cool with him at number 1. He likes dinosaurs. He will be a Cleveland Brown. Now, the intrigue for most people, Bucky, starts at number 2. At number 2 for the 49ers, you have...
Going off the grid, Jamal Adams from LSU. This is who I think will ultimately be the biggest impact player in this draft. Outstanding character, great leadership ability, has tremendous versatility in terms of being a box safety, but also is capable of playing in the center field. He is someone who is a culture changer. At number 2, I think the San Francisco 49ers can't go wrong with Jamal Adams.
Gotta say it. If you love a safety at number 2, then you have to love that player. And then a corner, Bucky, to the Bears at 3.
I think the easiest way to describe him, he's the natural. Smooth, fluid, polished, terrific technique at the corner. He is everything that you look for at the position. He has number 1 corner written all over him.
All right, Marshawn Lattimore, a Chicago Bear at 3. That brings us to number 4. Bucky and the Jacksonville Jaguars get
Leonard Fournette, because he is the tone setter. Tom Coughlin has taken over the operation at the top. He wants to be a tougher, more physical team. The best way to do that is to take the best running back, put him in the dot, and allow him to run ragged through the tackles. I believe he is a guy that is going to absolutely change the way the Jacksonville Jaguars play. He also is going to alleviate some of the pressure on Blake Bortles.
Some people think maybe, just maybe, Tom Coughlin goes quarterback at 4 after he had Deshaun Watson in there. Bucky, you go with the safest pick of them all, Leonard Fournette. Lance Zierlein, our NFL.com analyst, joins us now live here on NFL Mock Draft Live. Lance, welcome. What do you think of those first 4 there?
I like them. It all looks good. The question I would have for Bucky would be, did you move up Leonard Fournette after he came in at a shredded 228 at his pro day? Because, he's the same guy now that he was then, but he checked in 12 pounds lighter. And I know some scouts who were there on the field when LSU had their pro day, and they really loved the way Fournette looked. And, he is who he is, but I wondered if 228 kind of helps solidify Fournette at number 4 to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't think the weight was necessarily a thing. I think when you watched him go through the bag drills and the workout, I think the thing sometimes that get lost on tape is the footwork. Everything is so easy for him. And then the way he caught the ball out the backfield in that pro day, I just kind of believe that he is more than we've actually seen at LSU. And for a Jacksonville Jaguar team that needs an identity, particularly on offense, I think he is the perfect selection for them.
Look, he punishes people. You want a guy that's going to make an impact at number 4. Leonard Fournette is that guy. He sells jerseys. He moves merchandise. He moves the chains as well if the Jaguars are to take him. DJ, get in here. What do you think of that top 4?
I like it. Bucky did a nice job here. And to me, pick number 3 is an interesting one with Marshawn Lattimore and the Bears because they can go in a lot of different directions here. They could try and get cute and say this is a loaded corner draft. We'll wait on that position. But I'm telling you, these corners can go off the board really, really quick. So they get the top corner in the draft, which is a marquee position. I like that move for the Bears.
All right, so the Bears go corner. Remember, they took Kyle Fuller a couple of years ago in the first round. That pick did not necessarily work. They hope they get it right this time with Marshawn Lattimore. We want you to get involved. You've been getting involved all along this path to the draft. And here, NFL Mock Draft Live. Best running back in the draft. You like Bucky's pick. 45% of you say it is going to be Leonard Fournette, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey. We will hear their names later in this hour. That's just a hint. I'm not going to tell you where. You've seen the top 4. Let's now look at the top 8. On the left, we've seen these picks. Bucky at number 5, he goes Solomon Thomas to the Titans.
I like Solomon Thomas. I believe his versatility will be an added asset in that defense. This is a defense that continues to really impress under Dick LeBeau. They want to be physical. They want to be multiple. I believe he gives them a guy that can play inside and outside. Outstanding player.
Deshaun Watson, Malik Hooker, Jonathan Allen there as well. The quarterback at 6. Interesting.
I think it takes a special player to play on Broadway. You think about the bright lights and the big stage. Deshaun Watson has been the best player on those stages in the past. I believe if the Jets are going to go quarterback, you need someone that is experienced and ready to handle the criticism that comes with that role. I believe he's prepared.
Another Buckeye for Tom Telesco.
Look, natural center field playmaker, a guy that is an easy ball hawk in the middle. As they transition to a single high safety defense, you need someone that can cover from numbers to numbers. Malik Hooker is that guy.
And Jonathan Allen there at number 8. Bucky, are you ready for more?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. Let's get to number 9 of the Cincinnati Bengals. The countdown continues. You have Reuben Foster out of Alabama.
You want to add a little more thump to your defense? You put Reuben Foster in the center. You have him play alongside Vontaze Burfict. Not many people want to venture in between the tackles.
All right, what about the Buffalo Bills taking yet another Clemson wide receiver?
Hey, this is a big-bodied number 1 receiver. I know you have Sammy Watkins on the other side. He can be your big play weapon. This is the guy that does all the dirty work. He loves running those inside routes. For a quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, you now have the comfort in knowing that I can throw it and expand the strike zone because my guy can go get it.
There are some, not many, but some that like Derek Barnett better than Myles Garrett. You have him going 11 to New Orleans.
Hey, I'm a huge fan of Derek Barnett. I believe he's a Call of Duty player. Outstanding combat skills, great hands, does a great job getting to the quarterback. Look, you can make that argument about him and Myles Garrett because he certainly has put up a long track record of production in the SEC.
Many, many moons ago, the Cleveland Browns took a tight end with wide receiver skills from Alabama. His name was Ozzie Newsome. O.J. Howard this time.
Hey, O.J. Howard is the perfect player to put in the middle of that passing game. He's going to command a lot of attention and allow the rest of the playmakers to eat. I like this pick because regardless of who the quarterback is, you need to make it easy for him over the middle. O.J. Howard is the guy that can do that.
A couple of months ago, most people had Patrick Mahomes in the second round. You have him, Bucky, 13.
Hey, look, if you're going to go off the grid and take a chance on a wild card quarterback, why not Patrick Mahomes? You think about the gunslinger mentality, the way that he throws the ball. Bruce Arians and him, they appear to be a great match. Want to push the ball down the field, throw it to those weapons. You're fearless. Bruce Arians is the only guy that I can see that can control and manage his personality and his skills and cultivate it to Pro Bowl level.
The biggest mover in the countdown, Christian McCaffrey, up 15 to 14.
Hey, Philadelphia Eagle fans should love this pick because this guy, to me, reminds me of Brian Westbrook. Triple threat player, runner, receiver, outstanding return man. You put him back in the dot and then split him out and allow him to do his work. He's a mismatch player. Doug Peterson could have a lot of fun allowing Carson Wentz to target this guy inside and outside the backfield.
Which gets us to Indianapolis. They have to rush the passer, Tack McKinley from up the road.
Look, blue-collar pass rusher off the edge, nonstop motor, relentless in his pursuit of the quarterback. You want to get better in that division. You have to find a way to knock around the quarterback. Tack McKinley gives them an opportunity to get a number 1 pass rusher off the edge.
Corey Davis out of Western Michigan, a Baltimore Raven. Speaking of Ozzie Newsome, he takes this guy.
Hey, you lose Agent 89. You need a polished number 1 receiver, polished route runner, outstanding hands, does a great job running after catch. He makes plays. Joe Flacco would love to target someone with his kind of skills.
All right, we are halfway through. Bucky Brooks, mock draft 4.0. Reuben Foster at 9. Another Clemson wide receiver to Buffalo. Derek Barnett, O.J. Howard at 12. The first quarterback not named, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Tack McKinley, and Corey Davis rounding out the top 16. That is the first half of Bucky Brooks 4.0. Bucky, time now to move on and to reveal number 17. You have the Redskins taking Mitchell Trubisky.
Oh, I love this pick. This is a pure pocket passer, guy that throws with excellent timing, anticipation, and touch. One of the more accurate quarterbacks that you can find in this draft class. The biggest thing that's holding him back, lack of experience, only 13 games. In Washington, behind Kirk Cousins, he'll have the opportunity to sit and learn, wait his time, and then he can light it up for the skin.
And we have John Ross, then we have Dalvin Cook as another running back, Ryan Ramczyk there, as we need a offensive lineman, a tackle in Denver. Davis, Charlton, Garrett Bowles, and Hassan Reddick are the rest of your selections through 24.
Time now for Who's Your Guy. This is one of my favorite segments we do on this show. We're going to look at those last section of picks there from 17 to 24 and just identify that one player that you really, really like here. Lance, why don't you start us off?
Team Reddick. Hassan Reddick, loved him since I watched him in December. I think what he gives you is a player who is a very hungry, very passionate player. He's played on all 3 levels, so he's got great coverage ability. He can rush from the outside, as we saw last year. He's a guy you can play inside in the 3-4, outside in the 4-3, outside linebacker spot, or drop him into a rush position on third down. So I love his versatility, and I love his background and his desire and his passion. I'm all in on Hassan Reddick. He's my guy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Reddick as well. I'm going to stay at the linebacker position, though. I'm going to go Jared Davis. and what he brings to the table. Again, somebody can play inside. He's going to be a 4-down guy because he can play in passing situations. I also think he's going to be a big-time player on special teams early in his career. He's got stopping power as a tackler, and he can cover. So putting him to the Detroit Lions, I like that fit, Bucky. I'm a big fan there.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think he's a hunter. He is everything that you look for in the position, being able to be a sideline-to-sideline player, has that toughness. You talk about stopping power. The physicality is what really sold me when I looked at him on tape.
All right, give me a guy. Who's your guy in that group of players?
John Ross going to the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans need a number one receiver. I think John Ross has an opportunity to be a different kind of number one receiver, more in the T.Y. Hilton class, meaning a smaller, explosive playmaker that can make plays down the field, but also does the intermediate stuff, running routes, has big-time ability with the ball in his hands. I believe in Tennessee with Marcus Mariota. He gives them a playmaker that you need on the perimeter of the passing game.
Bucky Brooks has Cam Robinson at 25, Melvin Fonwu, Conley, Harris, Joe Mixon at 29, Kaiser, Lamp, and Adoree Jackson. That rounds out Bucky Brooks 4.0, his entire first round.